federal agency says that an average of 38 children a year die after being left inside of hot cars. That's why law enforcement says that if you see a child left in a hot and locked car, grab something sharp and heavy and break the glass. The new fire assessment fee can bring in an extra $1 million to the budget. The chief says he really needs the finances. And even if you take a look behind me, there's a roof of this house that's completely gone.
Gabrielle Dawkins is joining us in studio now with specific concerns of one group of parents. Gabrielle.
After our story yesterday about a man organizing a town hall to try to stop bullying, people flooded our Facebook page with comments and messages about their experience with bullying in schools. There is treatments like ointments, procedures, and light therapy. And Dr. Kent says you can even cover it up with some makeup called Dermablend. But unfortunately, there is no cure for vitiligo, and for some of his patients, it has caused a bit of discomfort.
People united will never be defeated.
Today, the U.S. saw protests in support for immigrants from D.C., North Carolina, and all the way down to Texas.
We're here to let politicians know.
This boycott flyer seen on social media calls for everyone, including immigrants, to stay home, close their businesses, and boycott things like shopping or buying gas. La Mexicana Food Mart in Macon says they closed their doors to show solidarity.
We're business owners. We worked hard. We're not criminals like Donald Trump is saying that, you know, everything that comes from Mexico are criminals, drug dealers, and the worst of the worst.
Maribel Medina and her family says work from immigrants keeps this country going. And today,
we could, you know, show the impact that we have in this country.
That impact, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 26 million immigrant workers make up 16.7% of the U.S. workforce. Medina's sister, Rosa, says that they're glad that the Hispanic community's voice can finally be heard. She says that there's fear and uncertainty in what could be next for undocumented immigrants.
Just like these other families are scared to open the doors, we were scared at one point to open the doors. So even though it took a process for us to become legal, there's some people that don't have that opportunity.
Rosa Medina says her boss supported her decision to not go to work today. In Macon,
there's no difference between color, race, religion.
Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News. It's that time of year for active violence training at the Dublin Police Department. Now, officers are learning inside of the classroom about movements, tactics, and what to do in live active shooting situations. Now, today they strapped up and put on some protective gear and put what they learned to the test.
And what Graham versus Connor says, we're called to make decisions in what? Situations that are tense, uncertain, and rapidly evolving.
Officers at the department had to think quick, especially if lives were on the line.
Put your gun down, sir.
The Chief of Police, Tim Chapman, and Lieutenant Keith Moon says these drills prepared them for last year's shooting at Fairview Park Hospital.
When we had the incident at the hospital, we were able to work very well together.
The long hallways and rooms are built to replicate areas where shootings can happen, preparing them for the unknown that lurks behind doors.
But it also gives the officer a chance to critique themselves, and they can autocorrect almost immediately.
Put your hands on the wall. Hands on the wall, both of you. All right, holster up.
After each drill, the team gathered.
Who shot? All right, articulate it for me.
They talked about what went right and what they could have done better.
Multiple subjects in multiple rooms. Once we encountered multiple subjects, we had to begin to break down our team to leave security at each room.
Now, the ultimate goals of these drills is to be prepared for when things like this happen. In Dublin, Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
Makes me angry because the person driving either was distracted, got caught up in their agenda for the day, and just forgot about the child or the pet in the back seat.
We see stories about the dangers of leaving a child or pet in a hot car.
Yeah, we needed an ambulance right away. We had an infant that was left in the car for over an hour.
But should you smash a window if you see that? Chief of Police Tim Chapman says yes, but don't bother snapping a picture of the temperature and the pet or child inside. He says there's no time for that.
It's hot out here. If the car is not running And certainly if that child is not moving, stuff like that, you got a decision to make, because you can actually be charged with failure to render aid.
According to kidsandcars.org, this is a map of how many young lives were lost in 2016 due to vehicular heat strokes in cars. A federal agency says that an average of 38 children a year die after being left inside of hot cars. That's why law enforcement says that if you see a child left in a hot and locked car, grab something sharp and heavy and break the glass. And if you decide to walk away and do nothing, you could face charges.
You can actually be charged with failure to render aid. And the person who left that child in the car is facing charges. Cruelty to children, child endangerment, reckless conduct, all these things.
So Chief Chapman verifies, yes, you should act if you see kids and pets in danger in a hot car. If you see something, do something. In Dublin, Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News. People watched the viral video of Star Swain singing more than 30 million times.
And then when they asked me what was her name, I said, I'm going to name her Star, because she's going to be a star.
Her mother says Star started singing around 4 years old. Star Swain attended Progressive Christian Academy.
Because that is where I was groomed from third grade all the way through on how to sing, how to project, how to, do everything as it relates to music and performance.
Her parents, Benny and Sheila Crawford, talked about what they feel when she sings.
I hear power. I hear a calmness, because she has always sung from the heart. She loves the Lord so much, and just that coming out of her, it's so real.
During the interview, her father teared up with pride. He remembers being by her side through many of her performances.
Well, she used to be in plays all the time.
An alumna of Northeast High School and Florida A&M University, her mother remembers people telling her that she's special.
People would come to me and say, I just want to touch her. People would tell me that I just want to touch her. It's something special about her, and it was amazing to me.
She now lives in Tallahassee and sings at Family Worship and Praise Center. Swain says she never imagined that the video would go viral.
Yes, definitely plan on taking it to a new level. What's next is there are going to be a lot of different appearances, so I want everybody to be looking out.
She says she's living up to her name. In Macon, Gabrielle Dawkins, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.